Welcome to the Gaze Insights platform, where we look at inheritance conversations. And today we have quite an interesting subject regarding baby mamas. My name is Angela, your host. Very happy to have you here. Hope you've subscribed, you've liked and shared so that we can share in these conversations with families that are struggling with inheritance challenges, family conflict, and the dynamics that surround them. In today's discussion, baby mamas and inheritance, what does the law really say? When a man dies, families sometimes discover secrets they did not expect, or they could know about these secrets, but often it's that they did not expect some of these secrets. Children from other relationships, unacknowledged responsibilities, women who turn up at the funeral and say, he was the father of my child. And suddenly, a painful question emerges. Do baby mamas have inheritance rights? Or more importantly, do their children? The answer is very often different from what families assume. Legally, the child's rights come first. Inheritance focuses on children and is not going to put the children aside simply because they were not from the legitimate aspect of the marriage. Inheritance law is designed to protect the children and not the nature of the parents' relationship. So whether a child was born inside marriage, outside marriage, in a long-term relationship, or from a brief relationship, that child can still have legal inheritance rights. The law generally asks one question: is the deceased the biological or legally recognized father? And when we are looking at legally recognized, we're looking at adoption or a foster parent who has documentation that says you're officially my child. If the answer is yes, the child may be entitled to a share of the estate. And here I'm using the word maybe. I'm not a lawyer, doctor, or psychologist. I'm simply giving an opinion on inheritance conversations. So make sure you check the legality of the situation you're in. Does the baby mom automatically inherit the part of the estate? The baby mama herself may not have these rights. Many families assume that if a woman had a child with the deceased, she automatically inherits part of the estate. In most legal systems, that is not the case. You have to have been legally married to the deceased, legally recognized as a spouse, or named in a will, or financially dependent in a way recognized by law. For example, if you have property and you have joint tenancy or ownership, the mother herself does not automatically inherit directly. However, she may still become involved in inheritance matters because she represents the child's interest. So such cases require proof. Proof really matters. And when these disputes start and are brought forward, courts will require proof of the relationship between the deceased and the child. Of course, the proof varies, but the one we often see brought forward includes birth certificates, DNA testing, acknowledgement by the father during his lifetime, and financial support records and legal recognition of paternity. Without proof, claims become more difficult to establish. But when paternity is confirmed, the child's rights become much stronger. When we have children from this type of relationship, family shock can turn into conflict. And most inheritance disputes often reveal hidden relationships. They reveal secrets that the deceased did not reveal or put on the table, and they finally come out. They say the three things that cannot be hidden are the sun, the moon, and the truth. So the truth eventually does come out. Some families only discover additional children after the death of a parent. And This can create intense emotional reactions. Of course, disbelief is the first because everyone is in shock. How could he have lived a life of pretense, a double life, and no one knew about it? And that disbelief then leads to anger. And anger can go any direction. It can lead to violence, it can lead to withdrawal, silence. Then you also have denial. There are some family members who completely say that's not true and not want to deal with it, not want to know about it. The most painful part is the feelings of betrayal. The betrayal that the deceased lied to you and also took on a relationship of that nature and had a child outside the ambit of the legal marriage. Siblings may find themselves in conflict with people that they've not met before. Of course, if a child is brought into the fold, the children from the legitimate wife are wondering, how do we suddenly have a brother or sister that our dad never told us about? But the law does not usually decide inheritance based on family emotions. It focuses on legal relationships and documented rights. And therefore, it's really important that we plan for our estates. Many painful disputes can be avoided. If you have clear planning during your lifetime, you can prevent confusion and conflict. And don't steer away from this process because you fear the repercussions of being honest or open. Otherwise, you're going to leave so much chaos. This can be done through you writing a clear will, legally recognizing your children because those are your children, documenting financial responsibilities, who will take what, and also communicating openly with family members because you can't wish the other child away if that child is genuinely yours. So silence and secrecy often create conditions for inheritance battles after death. So open up and don't keep certain things in secret. You have to find the right time to be able to talk about these matters. Honesty at the end of the day always works out best. And when lies are involved, you bring chaos, pain, betrayal. There's so much that goes into a lie that breaks up a family and breaks up the trust that the family unit has. So inheritance disputes will rarely just be about money. They are about identity, belonging, and recognition. And even in death, you can actually betray and remove that sense of recognition from the people you leave behind. When these relationships emerge after death, your family is going to be forced to confront truths that they may never have discussed while you were alive. But the law has a simple principle. Children deserve protection, no matter how complicated the relationships between the adults have been. And therefore, let's preserve our person and protect the children if we genuinely know they carry our blood. And for those family members who have not yet gotten into this position, before you have children outside your marriage, always know that there are consequences. There are consequences to your actions during your lifetime, and there could be consequences after. I hope that this will give a glimpse into this tough topic about baby mamas. Of course, there's a lot more we will discuss going forward regarding family relationships and how they impact the inheritance process. If you want an inheritance clarity call, please contact us on the email address on the screen, and we will be able to take you through, see what your situation is and advise you accordingly. In the meantime, take care of your families, plan, protect, and pass on, and please ensure that you safeguard the children. At the end of the day, the children are the ones who struggle the most with inheritance challenges. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to having you joining me on the next one. Bye for now.